y'all, and welcome to today's video. We are going to get ready together. I have my makeup pulled out. We're going to talk about spending money on makeup. We're going to talk about all of that. I have some tag questions here. This is the beauty spending tag created by Hannah's Room. Of course, I will have that channel down below in the description box for y'all, but I thought it would be fun just to get ready together. It's pretty early for me. I need to put on some makeup. I have lots to do today, so I thought we'll just do it together. And if you're new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week, so I hope that you will subscribe before you leave today. But I actually need to get ready, so let me bring y'all in a little bit. Let me push my hair back and we will put on some makeup. Before we get into the questions, let me just tell you some of the products I'm going to use. I will link everything in the description box, but I know I get to talking and I'll forget to pause. So I'm going to be using some Dior products that I'm currently reviewing. I'm going to hit some stuff. I'm going to use my Dior Forever Velvet Veil Primer, and I'm going to use my Dior Forever, what is this? This is the matte one. I don't know what the exact name, but it's the matte foundation, and it is in 4WO, and I'm going to use my Dior concealer. This one I've already reviewed. This one I love. This is the Forever Skin Correct in 4WO. Then I'm going to set it with my Sigma Soft Focus Setting Powder and Buttermilk. And then I'll buff and finish everything off with my Juvia's Place Powder in Cameroon. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to use my Power of 3 Beauty Sponge Trio that I got from Unearthly. This is the black sponge that I'm going to use. It's actually a little wet, so I need to dry that off. But these questions I thought would be fun because it's just a good group of questions that really just talk about like beauty spending, things like that. Now I will say I love makeup so much. And before I started my channel, I had a lot of makeup, bought a lot of makeup, loved makeup for a long time before I started YouTube. And one of the reasons I started YouTube was because like I love talking about makeup and I have thoughts to share, and I was like, I would really like to share my reviews, my testing products, things like that on YouTube, and maybe some other people will want to talk to me about it. So I know that's a little different from a lot of other creators that I see talk about YouTube, and they talk about how when they started YouTube their collection really just grew, and they started buying more and more. And I mean, my collection has definitely grown, but that's also to be expected when I've been doing makeup longer and longer. Like the longer I do it, the more I accumulate, right? But a lot of that, like, I can't blame on YouTube because I was buying a ton of makeup before I did YouTube, specifically palettes. That has not changed. I freaking love eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so let's jump into the first question while I apply my foundation. I will say, I love the Dior undertones. They're so good. They're so good and they're so specific, and I appreciate that so much. The first question, okay, when do you buy something new? And when I want. Does that sound silly? Not always. Like, I do really like that we usually have time these days to prepare for new things launching. With social media, we're not just waiting on catalogs anymore to tell us when new products are coming out. I mean, I remember looking through magazines, flipping pages, wanting to see like what are the new makeup releases, who has a new ad in this magazine, what do I need to buy, what do I need to go check out. I remember seeing commercials for new things. Like, I mean, we all remember that maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline commercials. Well, maybe not all of us, depending on how old you are. But, I mean, that's how we would find out about beauty news. And usually it wasn't like, coming soon, in 2 weeks, this is going to launch. So there wasn't like time to prepare for new things. It was like, if you went shopping and you saw there may be a ton of new things, and then you're having to decide right there in the store. So I really like that social media has like allowed us to have a heads up on new products and new brands and reviews. Like, this was something my husband and I were talking about not too long ago, about just how easy information is to access. And I know that makes me sound like, I don't know, like, it's so funny to think about now, like, just how easy things are. I remember just buying new makeup and new makeup and new makeup at the drugstore, and you know, I may buy 3 things, and 2 of those 3 things were terrible, and I hated them, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I buy this? This is terrible, because all you were doing was looking at the products. Whereas now, if I see something new, I can be like, okay, like, I kind of can read the claims. I know what I like. I mean, makeup's come a long way since then too. You know, makeup's come a very long way in the past 20 years, but look at how nice that Dior looks. Look at how nice that Dior looks. But also, like, we can look up reviews so easily, and we can determine for ourselves. We can look up swatches, and when there is a release we want, it's not like we just see all these 50 new things all at once and then we have to decide. Like, we know, hey, this week, this is what's going to launch, or even sometimes this month, this is what's going to launch, and we can think about, do we really want to buy it? And I really like that. Even just a couple days notice, you know, before things launch, kind of allows us to go like, okay, in 2 days, X palette from X brand is going to launch. I can sleep on it. I can think about if I want this thing, and I just really, really like that. So for the most part, I buy things when I want. Remember, I have a career. I don't work full-time anymore. I mean, I also homeschool my child, but my husband has a career, and I'm at a place in my life right now where I can buy the new makeup releases I want. But I also love, on Sundays, every single Sunday, we talk about the new makeup that's coming out. We talk about, do we want to anti-haul it? Do we not want to anti-haul it? Are we going to buy it? Is it something that's just cute, but we're still not going to buy it? I love that because it lets me talk about makeup, talk about everything without buying everything. So yeah, if you're new here, every Sunday on my channel, we judge new makeup, and I absolutely love that. I'm going to let my concealer set for a couple of minutes. I always let my concealer set for a couple of minutes before I blend it in, and then we'll move on to the next questions. Alright, so concealer is blended. It is time for us to put on some powder. And the second question is, how much of your spending is influenced? And I would say, I mean, that's a hard one to answer because, like, I mean, I'm influenced when I'm looking at the new releases. I'm influenced by my favorite brands, right? So if I'm looking at Adept, Unearthly, if I'm looking at these different brands that put out amazing products, I know I like their stuff. If it's a brand I've had a great experience with, like even like Tarte right now, I've been loving a lot of the new Tarte products I've been trying, especially like lip and complexion products. I'm influenced to give that product a second glance, right? Because I already know the brand. I know they typically make things that I really enjoy. So that always influences me. My favorite brands can influence me to look at things maybe a second time, even if I'm not in the market for a new like liquid contour, right? Tarte came out with their new contour wands, and I'm like, okay, they've been putting out some really cool products. Do I need, what do we need? You know, like food, clothing, shelter. But I'm like, am I looking specifically for a new cream or liquid bronzer? No, but I know that I've been liking Tarte products, so I'm gonna buy it. So I would definitely say that my favorite brands influence me to try different things because of the history that I have with them. Of course, my friends influence me. You know, I buy things all the time because my friends recommend them to me, different products, different things. I'm currently on the wait list for the Huda Beauty, the cherry blossom powder, the pink one. It keeps going out of stock. I can never catch it in stock. And I've been wanting it, but then my friend Karen Harris is like, oh my gosh, this powder, I love it. And now I'm really like, oh my gosh, I need that so much. I bought this new L'Oreal foundation we used earlier this week or last week on my channel. And I bought that in part because I wanted to try it, but it definitely influenced me to go ahead and buy it when my friend Angie and Canifas was telling me how good it is. So, I mean, definitely. And then I come to YouTube because I know there are so many people I see who are on YouTube and they'll talk about how they never watch YouTube, never watch other creators. I am the opposite. Like, I love beauty YouTube. I'm always watching something, watching someone. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, we're busy sometimes. Of course, you can't watch every video all the time. I mean, you know, like, of course, but like, I'm always getting influenced to try new things. I will say, I think it's different being influenced to try something and being pressured to try something, you know? So, like, most of the time, I've never felt pressured in, like, a makeup store, of course, but I definitely don't like to feel pressured to buy something, but I have kind of cultivated my subscription list, who I subscribe to, who I watch, and I mean, I never feel like pressured by things, but influenced, of course. Like, I love trying new makeup, and sometimes all it takes is one person to be like, this is good, and I'm like, okay, sold. You pushed me over the edge. Okay, so I will link the brushes, all of that, I'll link in the description box, but I'm gonna put on my One Size bronzer, and then I'm gonna do brows. So let me find a bronzer brush. Okay, so the third question, what is the item you would buy again without hesitation? I mean, so many things. This one's kind of hard. I did watch several people do this tag when it was going around like a couple of months ago, a month ago or so. So I need to think about how, because there's so many things I would repurchase again. I mean, if I'm thinking about what have I repurchased, my NARS Soft Matte Foundation, I've repurchased that product several times. I love it. My Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, I love that one. I've repurchased that so many times. My Melt Supernatural Lash Mascara, that's one that I keep using, keep repurchasing. Essence Lash Princess, I keep repurchasing that one. Why does bronzer just make my skin come to life? I love it. Okay, I'm gonna fill in my brows and then we will do eyes together and we have more questions to talk about. Okay, so brows filled in, eye primer on. I used my Sigma eye base and I'm going to be using my Blend Bunny Lure palette. I don't know what I want to do, so I'm just going to apply the makeup. I'm going to answer some questions, and then I'll make sure and tell you what shades that I used. But number 4, do you splurge during a sale? Like the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, this 4th sale, Black Friday. And Okay, so here's what I try to do is I kind of try to prepare myself for what I want to spend during sales so that I don't go overboard and I don't buy things that I didn't want just because they're on sale, you know? So there are definitely things that I keep on my Sephora loves list. A lot of times I will add things to the cart and then I'll move them to the loves list. And that way, there are things that I know I want, but things that I can wait on, like fragrance. I really like to wait until a Sephora sale to get a 20% off because fragrance is usually something that's not immediate need for me. A thing like I don't have to have this right now, you know? So I think it's good to pick up that type of thing during a sale. And I like to replenish skincare, stuff like that. I like when I can get like a value set or a sale, something like that. So yes, sometimes I do splurge. I'll restock on things, especially like this Black Friday. I replenished my like Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation and concealer because I knew I was kind of running low on that. But I try not to buy like a lot of backups, things like that. But if it's something I've been wanting to try, I definitely try to snag it on a sale when I can. I definitely don't feel like I overspend on sale things. I definitely don't buy things that I don't want just because I see them on sale. And again, that kind of goes back to like the time we're living, right? For the most part, it's not like, oh my gosh, this thing, it's on sale right now. I didn't know it was going to be on sale. Should I buy it now while it's at a discounted price? Usually we know, like, okay, at Black Friday, most brands are going to be running sales. What do I want? If product X, Y, and Z goes on sale, do I want to buy it? But yeah, and that's super helpful because it takes off, like, again, that pressure to buy things in the moment. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that we have heads up now about sales. Okay, so I went in with these 4 mattes right here, and now I want to go in with this one right here. I'm just going to apply that. I'm going to pull our questions back up. How much of your collection do you use, and how many items have you not touched since purchase? So this question may actually be a little bit different for me since I do review makeup. There are no items that I haven't touched since purchase or that I've only used once because I can't really review a product if I've only used it once. And I do review products here on my channel. I love reviewing products. So even if it's a product that I don't like, unless it gives me some type of like allergic reaction or something, I have to use them multiple times, even if I hate it, right? Because I need to test it in different ways, try it with different things. Like, you know, that's not really a thing for me. And I'll say, even if I didn't have a channel, if I bought something, I would still use it more than once because I'd want to know, like, okay, is this really a dud product? Do I need to test it more? Do I need to try it more? I don't like to waste my money. Who likes to waste their money? No one. And what is it? How much of your collection do you use? That was the other half of the question, right? And I don't know. I wear makeup all the time. Like, I'm constantly playing with makeup, trying new makeup, playing with my favorites, things like that. Things that I don't like, things that I don't want anymore, I give away. So my collection is full of things that I like and that I want to keep. So, I mean, I do give things away. I give things away a lot to friends and family. If I don't like it, or even if it's a product, it's not like I'm just giving away bad makeup. That sounds not very nice, right? But even if it's like a product I like, but if I have something that I prefer better, I will try to pass it on. You know, if I'm like, I'm never going to use this, I'm never going to reach for this, I don't want this anymore, I will definitely pass it on. So my collection is just full of things that I like. People put unnecessary pressure on themselves to pan things or to use everything they own all the time and just completely use it up. And while that's great, if that's what you want to do, that's great. I have empties videos here on my channel. I just did one, I think in either November or December, where I talked about like the products I've used up, the products I've repurchased. And that's wonderful. I like doing that. I want to use the products that I buy. But also, if I buy a palette and use the palette and love the palette, and then I don't use it for a little while, I don't feel guilty about keeping something that I bought, that I spent my money on, that I paid for, that I purchased. Why would I feel guilty about keeping that thing? And I like it. And I see that a lot of people are like, oh, I just, you know, gave such and such away. It was so hard, but, and I'm like, why are you putting yourself through torment just so you can say you got rid of something? I'm not doing that. If I buy something and I like it and I want to keep it, I'm going to keep it and I'm not going to feel bad about it. You know, like I said, if there's something that I'm like, you know, I don't need this, somebody else would like this better, I will give it away, but I'm also going to keep the things in my collection that I like. I mean, I have been married for 16 years. I was trying to think. This year will be 17. And I keep the little eyeshadow duo, a green duo. If you've been here at my channel, you've seen me talk about it. I've shown it and stuff. But I keep that. Am I ever going to use that? No. It's probably, ugh. I don't even want to think about that. But I'm keeping it. I'm not going to throw it away so that I can say I got rid of an eyeshadow duo. I'm not doing that. I like that. I still keep the lip gloss that I wore on my wedding, because it makes me happy. It sits in a drawer in my bathroom at the back, but I like knowing that I have it and it's mine, so I'm not getting rid of it. Another example would be my original Urban Decay palette, Urban Decay Naked palette. I am never going to use that palette. I loved it at the time. I really enjoyed it, really loved my original Urban Decay Naked palette. Now, I would never reach for that palette. When I reach for neutrals, one, I want to reach for palettes that probably aren't who knows how many years old and probably expired, probably not, I don't know. But I'm like, if I'm wearing neutrals, I want different textures, different formulas. Like, makeup's come a long way since then. But that doesn't mean I have to throw that palette away. I like it when I see it. When I see it, when I'm going through my collection, when I'm looking for makeup, like, I like seeing it. It makes me happy. I'm like, look at that. That was such a fun time. I remember that. Like, I don't know. So much we can just put this pressure on ourselves. And if you are a minimalist and you don't like to have a lot of things, that's fine. You do you. But what I'm more saying is, everybody should do what they want to do and not feel guilty about, oh, I have 10 lipsticks and I've only worn 5 of them in the past month. They're your lipsticks. You do what you want. If that is overwhelming to you and you're like, no, I only want 2 lipsticks, then you shouldn't feel bad for getting rid of the rest of them. Everybody should do what they want to do and not put pressure on themselves. Makeup should be fun, right? So I was just going to show you, I put that shade on the lid. I'm going to highlight with the inner corner with this one, and then I put this on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to do eyeliner and lashes. I'm going to do a lash, and then I'll be right back. All right, I put on my Mykonos light lashes from Lilly Lashes and black eyeliner. Super simple blue look today. I'm here for it. Now, number 6 says, does your spending embarrass or stress you out? No, it does not. I don't know how to expound on that. Like, does your spending embarrass or stress you out? No, it does not. I don't, like, I'm not going into debt for makeup, you know, so, no, it does not. This is ABH Raisin Lip Liner. And now I'm going to go in with mauve, this Tarte Maracuja lip cream. These Tarte Maracuja lips are so good. They're so good. Okay, number 7. Have you made any changes in your spending habits and why? I'm guessing that means like over the past year, have you made any changes to your spending habits? I don't know. Any changes to my spending habits? No, not that I can think of. Like, I'm definitely not doing a low buy or a no buy or anything like that. If you are, I encourage you to stay strong if that's what you want to do. If you want to stay on a no buy, if you want to stay on a low buy. I've never done anything like that, but it's just because I've never felt the desire to. Like, I have no reason to say that I'm on a low buy or a no buy. And usually the people that I watch who do low buys and no buys, they have a reason. They have a reason why they want to do those things. And I just don't have a reason to. So I've never put rules on myself, things like that. I just try to be mindful always of like when I'm buying things, why I'm buying things. Okay, so that was the Persona blush in Bubble. And now I want to use my Unearthly Surrender blush palette. I'm going to skip highlight and I'm going to go with like this as like a glowy blush topper. I used my blinged brush for the blush and I'm going to use this one. I don't know that these have numbers on them. They do. It's hard to see. E51 and this was a E54. And that is all of the questions. I'm going to mix passionate and romantic. And I'm going to put these lower than I would put a highlight. And then bring it up just a tiny bit. But I really want this to be a blush topper type of thing. But not as like low, I guess. Or as far down as I brought the blush. So I'm just keeping this lower than I would a highlight. Does that make sense? I don't know. I hope so. This was a fun tag. I enjoyed answering these questions. Let me know if you like seeing me answer questions like this. I'm just going to put a little bit of the glowy blush on my nose. I need to take out this headband, refresh because it's had my hair slicked back. All right, here's our finished look. We are done with all the questions. I would love to hear your answers. If you want to answer these questions down below. I'm feeling this makeup. I was not feeling it until I got the blush on. I felt like I was looking a little over bronzed, but once I got the blush on, I'm like, okay. There we go. There's the life coming back to the face. I'm loving the blue shadow. None of the makeup was first impressions. Some of the things I'm in the process of reviewing, but nothing was a first impression. So I'm loving my makeup. I'm going to be wearing this. It's 7 now, 7 in the morning. So I'm probably going to be wearing this makeup till 10 or 11. 10 or 11, so I'm probably gonna have this on about 16 hours. I'm ready for the day. I probably need to like put a little oil in my hair. I feel like it's looking a little frizzy in parts. I'm gonna go do that. Please, if you want to, if you're comfortable, answer these questions down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, your answers. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!